Welcome back. This is Certain Media DIY Secret number 15, how to promote a show. And this is slightly different from how to book a show. This is how to get the best turnout for any show, whether you're having a show for your buddies or you're releasing your new project. These are the tools that we use to do that. And let's get right into it.
Yeah.
Step one is to pick a date at least 2 months in advance. And why would I pick a date that far out?
Because it gives you plenty of time to remind folks of what's happening. And, a lot of the times when a movie trailer comes out, it comes out to let you know to plan ahead to make sure you make that date. Like the favorite thing, sometimes if you don't make it, you miss it. So 2 months is enough time for you to get your schedule cleared in order to make that event.
Exactly. We're dealing with other people that have their own schedules. You want to constantly remind them. Of course, you're going to have to contact them more than once to get them to your show. But if you start at 8 weeks and even before that, putting a bug in their ear that it's coming, then they're going to remember it when you say it again later, and then again when you ask them to come to the show. Step number 2 is to start rehearsing at least 2 months before your show. Now, why would you want to do that?
You would want your synergy to be on fire whenever you are on stage. I mean, it's so important. Think about your favorite show you've ever seen. It's probably one of your favorites because everybody on the stage were playing their role and doing their part. And it's seamless. You know, it seems like it's second nature. And that's the type of show you want to give to your audience.
And that's what a lot of rehearsal will give to you. Okay, so step 2.5 is sort of like a caveat, it's a little extra thing that if you want to do it, you should. And that's to order merchandise or anything that you want to have at the show at least 2 months out. And how would you put it?
Make sure you have enough time to have what you need before your show.
Boom. If you don't get it in time, especially if you promise people, it feels bad to you, it looks bad. You just don't want to get to the show day and not have all the things that you want available.
A lot of unnecessary stress.
Exactly. Step number 3 is to get your promotional plan together. And there's multiple steps here, but they all work together. So step 1 within step 3 is to contact the venue. So when you're promoting, why would you want to contact the venue?
Making sure that everything is, as mentioned in the previous module, it's really important to just stay on top of things because things change. More specifically to this one, promoting your show, you want to make sure that the venue knows as much about you and your act as they need to know before they're putting out any type of local ads or anything like that. You don't want them misspelling your name. You don't want anybody's name being left out, etc. So keeping in contact with people prevents those types of things from happening.
All great points. And one of the things that you can do to help the venue out is step number 2 within step 3 is to make a digital flyer yourself. Now, if you're not good at graphic design, you don't have to do it yourself, but have you ever made a digital flyer?
Indeed. I've had to learn by virtue of not being able to afford to have somebody do it. And in the earlier days of social media as we know it now, it was really geared towards, expressing yourself in the most interesting and unique way possible. And then a lot of the times that translates extremely well on promoting your show because you're just giving everyone a slice of who you are as you are. That's what we use a lot of the times in our early days of making flyers.
And we'll talk about that a little bit more in how to make video content for your supporters, but that's a really great point. Step 3 within step 3 is to decide which channels you're going to promote through. So whether that's social media or things like that, what are some of the channels that you promote through in previous times that you put a show together?
Sure. So early 2010s, we resorted to flyers and handing those out. We did a lot of CD pressing as well. So we would walk around to certain areas of the city. We actually had a map in our studio.
Wow.
And there's a corkboard and all that. And
nice.
We had areas of the city. Yeah, we were really dedicated to spending the least amount of money on doing the best amount of promotion. And at the time, it was a lot of literal footwork. So visiting different areas that have bulletin boards, different community spaces, different places where people congregate, penetrating those places and seeing who in those markets are trying to see a show with an artist they've never seen before.
Right.
Who are those people people that know of us and want to tell somebody else, oh, I know that guy. Let's go to see what they're going to do. So it's important to put that word out there and be, open to going in different places.
Yes, definitely cast a wide net. If you have any connections to newspaper or radio, I highly suggest going on there, or TV even. And then, of course, you can also create content for yourself to put on social media. Step 4 within step 3 is to contact your support acts. Why would you want to do that relatively early?
Oh man, to make sure that in addition to your team being on time and, ready for the show, you want to make sure that your supporting acts are following suit, because especially if you're traveling together or if you're just, showing up at the same spot, you kind of want to just be coordinated a bit more than just not having any contact. Having contact definitely can have a lot of benefits, such as, maybe coordinating a set or coordinating a bonding experience between mates, bandmates, knowing how much equipment they're going to bring up, knowing how much, stage real estate we need to delegate before the show.
Good point.
All of these things are important, and these are things that you would be easily able to navigate if you communicate with the other acts.
Yeah, and that's a great point that you bring up. Having a stage plot, you need to be in contact with your bandmates, and getting a stage plot from your supporting acts, you're going to be able to get that from them if you've been in contact. And if you're not reaching out to them, those are the type of things that you won't get till last minute and could create some surprises that could throw you off for your show.
You could not have any room for your equipment by the time there's showtime, and you're struggling to find room right before your set, and that is definitely stressful.
Yes. Oh man, I've been there as a DJ, especially trying to put up a table for your DJ equipment, and there's no place on stage for you. It's terrible, and then the venue doesn't have the right size table. It's bad. So you want to make sure you have all that in order beforehand, and if you're contacting the support acts early, they can help you promote as well and spread the word. If you spread it far and wide, there's more likely that a lot of people will show up to your show. So the last point within step 3 is to write your copy. And what do I mean by that?
I mean, letting people know who you are and what you're going to be doing. Just simply that.
That's it.
I mean, you can put a lot of glitz and glamour in there, but usually keeping it simple is the best approach.
Keeping it simple keeps it solidified in people's minds. The more details you add, they start to lose it. So
what's that famous mantra that you keep saying? A confused mind.
Mine always says no. So if you confuse people, they're probably not coming to your show. And that's not a phrase that I come up with. Russell Brunson says it, Jim Edwards, a couple of the people that we follow in marketing.
Mantra.
It works, and I've definitely noticed in my experience to be true.
Exactly, me as well.
So step 4 is the things to be done about 6 weeks out. What types of things would you be doing to promote your show about 6 weeks out from your show?
So 6 weeks out, I'd probably be, visiting the second half of the places that I decided to, go put out flyers and things like that. Nowadays, it's obviously a lot more easy to, set a couple algorithms, a few clicks, do a lot of that legwork, but on a, internet basis. But it's a lot, in my experience, it's a lot better to get out and meet people face to face, especially because you can definitely correspond multiple times a lot easier online than you can visiting someone in person. As was previously mentioned, if you delegate time in your schedule in addition to practicing, working your job, and putting out flyers to actually make that face-to-face contact, you'll several-fold enhance your likelihood of that person showing up to your show.
So yeah, at this point, the venue should be booked and confirmed. Your support act should be booked and confirmed. You should have a promotional plan together like you were talking about. Your digital flyer should be on your website if you have one, and again, be posting on social media at this point. Step number 5 are the things you should be doing at 1 month out. So this is about 4 weeks before your show. What are some of the things that you'd be doing about a month out from your show?
Sure. So with my band especially, I'd be doing a lot more regular practicing, pretty much the stage performance aspect instead of just the figuring it out aspect. And also making sure that either if it's not at least once a week, it's maybe twice a week if we can allow it, but as often as possible so that we as a team are really on the line with each other, because from then until the show, it's going to be a lot of just tightening the stage show and just letting the promotion promotion and things happen on a social basis, and then getting really in contact with the folks that you know closely.
Well, some of the things that I would do a month out are checking with the venue about a cover charge. Is there going to be one? Who's going to collect that? Do you need to have a person? Do they have a person to do that? That's very important, because how you split up the money at the end of the night, you want to try to control it, but a lot of times venues do not give you that control. So you're going to need to figure that out at least a month beforehand, so that you know who needs to handle that the night of. I would also set up a Facebook page and start inviting people. You don't want to do that too early, because if you do it early, people will forget, and Facebook doesn't send a reminder. So if it's not on their calendar, they're probably not going to show up. And if they don't remember, they're also not going to show up. Definitely set up the Facebook page, ramp up how much you talk about it in person, on social media especially, be texting and calling people at this point. And then, like you said, be rehearsing quite often, and then make sure that your support acts hopefully are rehearsing and promoting as well. All right, so step 6 are the things to be done about 2 weeks to 1 week out from your show. As far as promotion, what would you be doing around 2 weeks to 1 week before?
2 to 1 weeks, I'd probably be really leaning on my friends and my the resources and things that I might have to try to get a little bit more of a push on the word. So maybe visit a friend at a radio station, or visit a couple folks at a newspaper and let them know that go to event calendars, try to check some of that stuff out.
Event calendars.
Coordinate with some of your local event calendars, regional event calendars as well, and then really just putting out on your own social media kind of uniform breadcrumbs leading up to your show.
Perfect. You should be promoting every day. Check in one more time with the venue and your support acts, and then of course call and text your family, friends, and acquaintances to come to the show, because at this point they're probably going to go ahead and put it in a calendar and not forget, because you're only about a week to 2 weeks out. And that brings us to show day. So you're going to want to have a show day checklist. What's on your show day checklist?
Oh my goodness. First and foremost, making sure you are fed before the show. That's so important. But besides that, coordinating with everyone on where and when to be at the venue. Making sure that you have every piece of equipment you need. Making sure you double check the stage plot.
Major key.
Making sure you double check everybody has a ride, and making sure everybody can be able to bring their own equipment. And also making sure that the show dates and everything, the times are the same. There's various other things I could go on.
Yeah, and if you kind of look back at our module on how to book a show, we talk about getting to the venue early and all those things, but really all that does is help you relax before the show, because if you're relaxed, you're in a good space, your performance is going to be good, you're able to talk to the crowd, you're able to deal with the venue staff really well, and so that's just going to create a better experience for everybody. And then just have a great show. Have a good time, have fun, and then maybe do a little bit of networking afterwards. And that's it. So that was Certain Media DIY Musician Secret number 15, how to promote a show. Next, we're going to get into secret number 16, how to connect with my audience on stage.